Capricorn, hello, it's been a while. I'm glad you're here. We are looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like at this time. I'm shuffling this deck to get a little inspiration image to start us off, and let's see what we got. So this is the other half to the Virgo photograph, the card that came out for Virgo. It's a memory game, so the photos are split in half. You gotta find the other half kind of situation. I've learned from the last two readings that it's good to find the other half right off the bat. So let's search for this other half of this image that Virgo got in their reading. So maybe there's something in that for you. When you put them together, it's a very Gemini image. Interesting. Okay. Anything else for Capricorn? Oh my God. Should I just give everyone the same reading? It seems that way. So this card's come out for Taurus, Gemini, Virgo. Yeah. So that Virgo reading actually might be something you should check out. But essentially in the Virgo reading, there was this, a little bit of side-eye or suspicion happening that after everything you've been through, you could actually experience this level of joy. A little bit of like, seriously, am I allowed to feel that good? And so I think, Cap, you're just joining the Virgo sentiment, which I hope so, because that reading was awesome. But it's almost like, okay, invite Cap to this Virgo party, and, you know, now you've got two judgy heads looking at this kind of expression like, are you serious? You know? Interesting that judgment is coming through. There were two other cards that slipped out with that, and they seem to be speaking the same thing. There's some sort of aerial view. You know, like it's like from up here, everybody just looks like a tiny dot. Something like that. Let's see where this is going. We're using the Poesis Oracle today to take a look at your shapeshift. The shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, what that shapeshift looks and feels like for Capricorn at this time. Virgo got this one too. I kind of hate, I like love hate when this happens. Because I'm like, I'll just direct you to the Virgo reading. But clearly it's the same, it's a similar energy, a similar jumping off point, but there's something extra that is more specific to you. Okay, what is this? Well, there's some sort of, something is like tearing its way out of you. Check it out. This is your shape shift. Shifting out of rage and into soul through heal. So out of, it's like something needing to, you know, rage, take it that if it applies to you, but to me, this card has really been speaking about like an emotional a pressurized situation that needs some sort of release, and maybe it's emotional release, but something needs to pop now. Something that has been buried and pressured deep inside of you. I'm looking at the Soul card as well. Needs to erupt. It needs to come out. It needs to find its way maybe out of the mouth, since in the Soul card, the teeth and the mouth and the throat are so prominent. It's like something is practically, you know, elbowing and bursting its way out of your body and out of maybe your mouth and your throat. It's like something needs to be said or expressed or released. It's really so much about release, which goes along with how Taurus's reading talked about this card. And I believe they got this volcano as well. This need for some sort of catharsis, a cathartic release. And maybe what these cards are talking about is that this is a collective cathartic release. Okay. Capricorn, there could also be some sort of repression that is, what am I trying to say? Because the volcano is a contained fire, or like a capped energy, there's just something really stripped down about this energy that I felt in the Virgo reading as well, where it's just sort of stark and bare bones and afraid to be totally flamboyant, or afraid to like let it rip. And again, maybe there's something that really needs to be said, that there's a clearance. This is some sort of smudging or smoke situation. There's a clearance that brings healing, and I think it's clearing the chimney or the flue. I just got a wood stove installed, so it's on my brain. Clearing the path so that you hear the dog snoring in the background. Whatever is capping this expression needs clearance. Clear the way. Let it out. And I think there's some sort of, I'm wondering if just there's some sort of like change of scenery that will help in that, just because we're getting this larger viewpoint, shift in perspective. This judgment is so strong, and I feel the fear. That is at the base of it. Don't judge your soul's expression. Don't do that. You know, like that's a genuine expression of who you are and your spirit and your essence. Don't judge that. And you know what, Cap, if that includes, if part of the catharsis and the cathartic release includes expressing things that are harder to express, or that are less sweet and friendly and fun, like joy, but are actually more like frustration and built up rage and built up, you know, some pent up pressure, repressed energy that needs release. I guess this reading is encouraging you to look into your judgments around that and to ask yourself like what you're afraid of, because there's something in that release that does lead to a whole lot more joy and connectedness and togetherness, because the other half of this card is Frida Kahlo down here, which is like friendship and love and connectedness and togetherness and feeling completely free in your connections with others. Like free in your connections, freed by your connections. That's interesting. So if we put this all together, it almost now looks like the two heads on either side, these bald figures, are the heads in the heal card that are wanting to heal. So there's some sort of maybe self-judgment or judgment of self and maybe judgment of others that is ready to clear out so that you can express yourself unabashedly, whatever that means to you, and whatever that means, like at any given time, expressing yourself unabashedly could mean a lot of things depending on what needs to be expressed. Maybe you need to express your anger unabashedly. Maybe you need to express your love unabashedly, or your joy, or your sense of humor, or whatever that is for you. It's something very core, very deep, very much connected to your soul, your innermost essence. And you can't judge that. You can't bring an if you bring an energy of judgment to that, you'll never fully experience yourself. Okay, that's enough. We need more cards now to really dig into this. So I'm going to use the Dark Exact Tarot now and really dig in. I'm so curious to see how this is going to play out. Let's start with rage. Let's start with what needs to release. If you've enjoyed the first part of this reading, I invite you to explore the whole thing with me for a season over at the Shifting Space. This spring, 2022, I'm testing out this new space devoted to experiencing the shifts more viscerally, in connection with other people, for the course of an entire season. I'm inviting no more than 30 folks to join this cohort of original founding members of the Shifting Space. This is a chance for me and you to shape the kind of virtual space we want to be a part of for months and years to come. We'll experiment with bi-monthly movement meetups to feel how our bodies are shifting, a community chat space where we can dish on the shifts, and a podcast where we'll connect the dots of all the revelations we're having throughout the season. If this sounds like what you're into, join me at this early stage of the Shifting Space. It'll never be more affordable than it is right now. And as a reward for your input at these early days of the space, you'll keep your original member rate for life. So, come see what it's all about and watch the rest of your reading at unseenhandstarot.com.